VeChain and $15 trillion in the same headline. You better believe I did a double take at that. I nearly spilled my coffee, it sounded like sci-fi, but no, it is real, and I had to investigate. Now, I'm a long-term VeChain believer. I've been holding VET through bull runs and bear markets alike. So when I saw a headline about VeChain gearing up for a $15 trillion AI-driven economy, it felt like two things at once: skeptical and excited. Now, I'm skeptical here because, seriously, $15 trillion is an astronomical, I should say, number. Words I can't even pronounce, like several times the entire cryptocurrency market cap today. But I'm also excited here because if any of this is true, well, my patience holding VET might finally actually pay off. So I did what any curious holder would do. I went down the rabbit hole to find the real story behind this AI pivot. And trust me, it's a wild ride. Now, it all started with something called the VeBetter Whitepaper 2.0. Now, white papers usually bore me to tears, right? But this one, well, it's actually packed with buzzwords that would normally make me roll my eyes. AI, next-gen economy, yet coming from VeChain, it hit differently. Right, let me break it down. VeChain basically said, look, AI is about to run the world. Right, they're saying that in the next decade, trillions of dollars of economic activity will actually be driven by AI systems. So think digital agents handling investments and logistics, or self-driving cars coordinating traffic all by themselves. Now, that future can only work if you have open, programmable, verifiable infrastructure. Sound familiar, right? That's basically blockchain's calling card. Now, the problem is that our current financial system is too slow, it's too costly, and it's too centralized to actually support this kind of AI-driven future. So if you ask me, banks move about as fast as a sloth on sedatives. This is kind of where VeChain's new VeBetter initiative really comes in. Now, according to their white paper, a lot of crypto projects, tried to tackle these issues, but got obsessed with just moving value around, trading and speculating. Now, instead of actually creating the value, now, guilty as charged, right? Crypto world, it's true. VeChain is like, hey, let's do something different for a change. Now, their approach with VeBetter is about turning millions of tiny actions into big measurable impacts. And they've kind of proved that they can do it. Now, apparently, the community has reduced 208,000 kilograms of plastic waste and saved 7 million watt-hours of energy through VeChain Better actions so far. So I'm like, wait, what? Did that happen, right? I must have missed the memo while I was doom scrolling the price charts. The idea is that if enough people, or even, machines, to kind of contribute just a little bit, right, like recycling plastic or saving power, it actually adds up to something huge. And I love that because it's not just another let's trade tokens and get rich scheme, it's actually tangible, real world stuff. Now, let's tie all of this into AI. VeChain says that these AI systems, as amazing as they are, will get super complicated and actually really hard to keep in line as they kind of grow. Anyone else kind of played with advanced AI can probably relate. So how do we keep AIs from going rogue or just doing their own thing without us? Well, VeChain thinks that VeBetter could be the glue, right? They plan to extend their kind of coordination model to include AI agents. In plain English, that means giving AI systems a way to play nice with humans and with each other, right? Using blockchain as the common ground. Now, the white paper talks about providing verifiable behavioral data, giving AIs a set of rails and incentives so that they can collaborate, collaborate rather than just clash with each other. So it's kind of like giving AI a rule book and kind of a point system to encourage good behavior. To me, that sounds like a bit of like how we would kind of train a bit of a dog, right? Reward the good, discourage the bad, but maybe on a massive digital scale. And the end goal? A shared economy of effort, where humans and AI advanced side by side. Okay, So that's a fancy way of just saying, let's team up with the robots instead of fighting them. Kind of optimistic, kind of utopian, and I'm kind of here all for it, right? I'd rather have AIs helping us pick up the trash and optimize energy than, plotting world domination. Now, VeBetter isn't just some newborn idea either. It's actually launched back in 2024, which, in crypto time feels like, well, ages ago. Now, about a year ago, right, they actually logged over, 30, or at least in that year, I should say, about 35 million verifiable actions across 5 million different wallets. So seeing those numbers, I had to blink twice, right? I've been a vet holder, and even I didn't realize that the community was that busy saving the planet. 35 million actions. That's like every person in a large city doing one good deed on the blockchain. And most of the world has no clue that it even happened. It's just wild. And those actions, they weren't trivial either. Remember those plastic and energy stats? Over 208,000 kilograms of plastic not clogging up our oceans and landfills, and 7 million watt hours of electricity saved, all thanks to VeChain's partnerships and community. Now, it's not curing cancer or ending world hunger, but hey, it is real. It is measurable progress for the environment. So how many crypto projects can say that with a straight face? However, VeChain learned something rather important from that first year. Just throwing token rewards at people isn't enough to keep them engaged. Sure, you can bribe people to do good deeds for a while, but eventually the novelty wears off. So to keep people and machines hooked, you need to make it more interesting, maybe even more fun or more meaningful. So the white paper says that the next step is to embrace intelligence to turn participation into experience. Now, that line kind of stuck with me. It's kind of like the difference between grinding for points in a game versus actually enjoying the game itself. Now, their priority is to make everything smarter. They want to improve decision making in the community, maybe with AI helping, purpose or vet ideas, right? But lower the actual barriers to participate in governance, maybe. Because let's be honest, most of us skip the voting unless it's super easy or, directly impacts us. Right? But maybe give better insights to builders or creators, right? Imagine AI, devs, tools, actually helping you build on VeChain, right? That would be pretty sweet. And maybe make engagement more personalized and more fun for everyone. Basically, just sprinkle in some AI magic to supercharge the whole ecosystem. The star of the show is the new token called B3TR, pronounced better, of course. Now, it's basically supposed to be a programmable backbone that keeps, everyone's incentives pointed in the kind of same direction. In other words, B3TR or better is like the glue, an incentive token to make sure that humans and AI in the ecosystem are working together, not, at kind of cross purposes. Kind of like how a well-designed game rewards all of its players for contributing to the team victory. So, about the roadmap. VeChain broke it into 4 phases then, right? And that kind of sound like levels in a sci-fi game. Phase 1 is off-chain intelligence and social agents. Phase 2 is on-chain intelligence and governance agents. And phase 3 is the personalized superintelligence. And then phase 4 is data intelligence and monetization. So what does that all mean? Well, here's my take. Phase 1 means that AI helpers working off the blockchain at first. Think bots that might, moderate a community or give you tips without being fully on-chain. Phase 2 brings those AI agents onto the blockchain itself to help with governance and on-chain tasks. Imagine an AI assistant voting or executing smart contract decisions to speed things up. Then phase 3 sounds like everyone gets their own AI buddy, a personal crypto Jarvis that knows your preferences and helps you navigate the VeChain ecosystem, or even manages stuff for you. Phase 4 is about turning all of that data and insights at least from those AI interactions into monetizable value. Maybe you can share and sell data safely, or AIs offer services and earn rewards. By the end of phase 4, they envision an AI-native society on VeChain. It's beyond bold, like shoot for the moon ambitious. Now, as someone who's lived through multiple hype waves in crypto, I'm excited by all of this, but I'm also cautious, right? I remember when every kind of project was adding blockchain will fix everything to their pitch deck. Then it was, we're doing NFTs of everything. Then it was metaverse this and metaverse that. And now it's AI will solve all of the problems. So I asked myself, is VeChain just chasing the latest trend? It's possible. But here's the kind of difference. They've got some credibility in actually delivering real-world results. Those plastic and energy savings, they aren't just promises, they actually happened. So at least they're actually wrapping their AI ambitions around something tangible, not just buzzwords. Now, I can't lie. As a long-term VET holder, reading all of this made me a little bit giddy. Right? It's kind of like maybe this is the catalyst that I've been waiting for. The token's kind of been snoozing on, right? At least at the same time, I should say. I know better than to kind of count my chickens before they've hatched though, right? The price of VET right now is trading at around 2.4 cents, pretty much where it's been, hovering around lately. The market didn't exactly explode on this news, right? But some people are optimistic that eventually it might get noticed. Now, I saw one analysis saying that VET could go, touch wood, to $2.50 this cycle, now which would be mind-blowing, right? And another analyst that I follow, eGrad Crypto, thinks $1 is possible if it mirrors past patterns from 2020. Now $1, even thinking about that gets me a little bit lightheaded. I'm going to be honest with you here. If VET hits $1, I'd probably throw a party for my Discord community or something equally as crazy. But let's keep it real for a second. It's time for a quick reality check. Now, this might just shock you, but I'm not a financial advisor and nothing in this video is financial advice. Cryptocurrencies are highly volatile and you could lose all of the money that you invest. You should always do your own research and consult a qualified professional. After all, your investments are entirely your own responsibility and you should know that nothing is ever guaranteed when it comes to investing. Neither I, this channel, nor YouTube are liable for any losses, and this video today is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Alright, now that the lawyers are all happy, here's what I'm thinking moving forward. Now I'm holding on to my VET, obviously, right? I'm a sucker for projects that try to solve real problems, and VeChain's been on that path since day one. Remember, they started with tracking supply chains and fighting counterfeits, kind of for big brands. This new AI direction feels like an expansion to that vision, not an abandonment of it. If anything, it's kind of more in line to kind of buy a little bit more VET on the dips now, because it kind of feels like something big could be on the horizon. But I'm not going to FOMO in or buy any kind of, or at least to make any kind of crazy moves right now, because no matter how good a project sounds, this is crypto. And in crypto, if Bitcoin decides to tank tomorrow, VeChain could announce it's cured cancer and the price would still probably drop along with everything else. That's just how it goes. Now, I was chatting about all of this in our Discord server. Shameless plug, we do have a free educational Discord. The link is in the description. It is where we kind of geek out about crypto news and strategies. And when at least the VeChain AI news hit, our chat room did light up, right? Some folk were like, finally, something exciting from VeChain, it's about time. And others were cautiously saying, let's see if they actually deliver on this. Honestly, both kind of points of view are valid here, right? If you're kind of a VeChain believer like me, then it's okay to be excited. Just keep a little bit of skepticism in your back pocket so that you don't get too disappointed if things take longer than expected, or don't pan out exactly as you had hoped. Now, here's a quick tangent, right? If you're looking to trade VET or any other crypto around news events, or just in general, one platform that I've been using lately is BitGet. It's pretty user-friendly and even has a neat copy trading feature if you're into that. Full transparency though, I do have an affiliate link for BitGet that's in the description. So if you do use it, sign up and trade on it, it's not going to cost you anything extra, but it will support the channel here. So thank you in advance if you do use it. There's no pressure, of course. It's there if you need it. I've also been checking out Blowfin, which is another exchange that I use, essentially great for futures trading. Sometimes I like to set my kind of like to test my conviction with a little bit of leverage trades here or there. Nothing too crazy. And I have an affiliate link for Blowfin too in the description as well. It's the same deal. It's totally your call, but if you do use it, it does help me keep the lights on here and keeps these videos coming. Whatever you trade, please make sure that you manage your risk. I know I sound like a grandpa here, but seriously, set stop losses and don't bet your rent money, right? It's all that good stuff that really helps. Okay, let's get back to VeChain. Where does all of this leave us then? Well, for me, it leaves me cautiously optimistic and definitely a little bit more engaged. I'm picturing a future where maybe I'm interacting with some AI bot on VeChain that says, hey, you recycled 5 plastic bottles this week. Here's 10 better tokens. Or there's a new proposal to fund an ocean cleanup project. Do you want to vote on it? Well, that would be pretty cool. It would make crypto feel a little bit more connected to everyday life and doing tangible good, which honestly is kind of what attracted me to VeChain in the first place, right? The whole idea of bridging blockchain with real world use cases. So I'm going to be keeping a close eye on VeChain's progress with this. I'll probably be doing an update in the future videos if something major does happen, like if they kind of roll out an AI feature that we can actually use, right? You know that I'm going to be first in line to test it out. I'm that kind of nerd who volunteers to try beta versions of pretty much all of these things. But the big picture is that I find it quite fascinating how crypto and AI are starting to converge together, right? A lot of projects are dabbling in it, but VeChain is bringing its own style to the table. It's not about AI-generated art or AI chatbots pumping out meme coins. It's actually about infrastructure and real-world impact with AI in the mix, right? The broader crypto market moves in narratives. The last bull run that we had was really kind of DeFi summer and NFTs, or then the NFT craze. Then it was the metaverse stuff, right? I have a feeling that AI plus crypto is going to be kind of one of the next big narratives alongside tokenization. And if there's the case, a project like VeChain that has the kind of real enterprise partnerships and now a strong AI storyline could get a lot more love. Not financial advice, of course, you heard the disclaimer, just my gut feeling on how narratives tend to kind of drive attention. Now, before I wrap up, let me share a quick personal reflection here. Being a VeChain holder for years has taught me a lot about patience and conviction. There were times when I wondered, why am I still holding this when other coins are taking off? I even rotated some out during 2021's hype to chase shinier objects, guilty, but I always kept a core position because I believed in the vision. Seeing VeChain continuously build, whether it's not kind of too so sexy kind of stuff like supply chain tracking or the flashy new AI pivot, right? It just reinforces why I got in the first place, right? To be part of something bridging crypto with real world value. Now today, I'm feeling pretty vindicated and excited. Ask me again in a month and who knows, I might have kind of be grumbling that if the price dips or, if the next update is just delayed. But right now, I guess I'm optimistic that my loyalty might actually pay off in the longer run. Not just financially, but in being part of something pretty cool. I guess the takeaway here is that crypto projects can reinvent themselves, and sometimes a reinvention is exactly what is needed to break through. VeChain was often overlooked as that supply chain coin, but it might surprise a lot of people with this new AI move. Will it work out perfectly? There's no guarantee, of course, but I'm glad to be along for the ride to find out, rather than hearing about it after the fact. All right, so that's enough from me today. If you've stuck around this long, you clearly enjoy these explorations as much as I do. So hit that like button, hit the subscribe button for more adventures, and click on the next video that's up on the screen over there. And thanks for watching.